Assalamu alaikum and good evening. You are watching HumSub.TV and I am Muneeb Hamid with the news in English. Pakistan-US trade blame over cross-border terrorism. Top Pakistani and US military commanders blamed each other on Thursday for not doing enough to stop cross-border terrorism. The two-day visit of United States Central Command CENTCOM Commander General Joseph Votel, in which he held a series of meetings with senior Pakistani military commanders, including Army Chief General Qamar Bajwa, reinforced the perception that Pakistan and the US had not been able to narrow their trust deficit despite a series of high-level meetings. The General Votel's trip, which was his fourth to Islamabad, is believed to be a preparatory visit for the upcoming trip of US Defense Secretary James Mattis, who is expected next month. Besides General Bajwa, the CENTCOM commander also met Chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff Committee, General Zubair Hayat, and Director General of Inter-Services Intelligence, Lieutenant General Naveed Mukhtar. Senate passes Delimitation Bill. The Senate on Friday unanimously passed the 24th Constitution Amendment Bill 2017, paving the way for the Election Commission of Pakistan to use the provisional census data to carry out fresh delimitation of constituencies ahead of the next general elections. On Thursday, the NA passed the bill by a 242-1 vote after the Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi assured the Muttahida Qawmi Movement (MQM) that their demand for independent audit of 5% of census blocks instead of 1% would again be referred to the Council of Common Interest for approval. National Assembly legislation paves way for timely elections. The National Assembly on Thursday passed the 24th Constitution Amendment Bill 2017 by a 242-1 vote, paving the way for Election Commission of Pakistan to carry out fresh delimitation of constituencies ahead of the next general elections on the basis of provisional census data. In a major development in order to win the crucial support of the Muttahida Qawmi Movement (MQM) for the bill seeking reallocation of seats of the legislatures, the government in a last-minute meeting agreed to increase the number of auditable population census blocks from 1 to 5%. Islamabad High Court orders administration to clear Faizabad interchange of religious parties sit-in. Islamabad High Court on Friday ordered the capital administration to take all necessary steps to clear the Faizabad interchange of a sit-in of religious parties by tomorrow. Daily life in the capital over the past week or so has been disrupted by protesters belonging to religious parties, including the Tehreek-e-Khatb-e-Nabuwat, Tehreek-e-Labbaik Ya Rasulullah, and the Sunni Tehreek Pakistan, calling for the sacking of Law Minister Zahid Hamid and strict action against those behind the amendment to the Khatb-e-Nabuwat oath, which had earlier been deemed a clerical error and subsequently rectified. Blast near political gathering in Kabul leaves 14 dead. A suicide attacker blew himself up outside a political gathering in Kabul, killing at least 14 people. The deadly attack, claimed by the militant Islamic State group in a brief message via its Amaq propaganda agency, was the latest to hit the Afghan capital, where militants have been stepping up assaults in a devastating show of force. Supporters of Ata Muhammad Noor, the powerful governor of the northern province of Balkh and vocal critic of Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, had been holding an event inside a wedding hall at the time of the blast. Hariri accepts invitation to France. Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri has accepted an invitation to visit France after his surprise resignation from Saudi Arabia nearly 2 weeks ago that rattled the region. The French president's office said Hariri is expected in France in the coming days. According to an official in President Emmanuel Macron's office, Lebanon President Michel Aoun said Hariri and his family will arrive on Saturday in France, where he will rest for a few days before returning to Beirut to make a decision regarding the resignation. 9 news outlets likely to be labeled foreign agents in Russia. Russia named 9 US government-sponsored news outlets likely to be labeled foreign agents under a new law that is being rushed through parliament in response to what Moscow says is unacceptable US pressure on Russian media. Russia's lower house of parliament approved the law allowing Moscow to force foreign media to brand news they provide to Russians as the work of foreign agents and to disclose their funding. South Korea quake leaves over 50 injured. More than 50 people were injured and 1,500 taken to shelters in South Korea after a rare 5.4 magnitude quake hit the southeastern port of Pohang on Thursday. The second most powerful quake recorded in the south hit at a shallow depth of 9 kilometers, 6 miles on Wednesday afternoon, sparking alarm in a country that rarely experiences significant tremors. The quake, which was felt across the country including in the capital Seoul, damaged nearly 1,100 homes and more than 100 schools, the Safety Ministry said in a statement. Cambodia's main opposition party dissolved by court. Cambodia's Supreme Court dissolved the main opposition party, leaving authoritarian Prime Minister Hun Sen clear to extend over 3 decades in power in a general election next year. The government had asked the court to dissolve the Cambodia's National Rescue Party, CNRP, which was accused of plotting to take power with help from the United States after the arrest of party leader Kem Sokha on September 3rd. The court ruling also ordered a 5-year ban on political activity for 118 members of the opposition party, which had threatened a major challenge to Hun Sen, a former Khmer Rouge commander, at next year's election. The party rejected the accusations as politically motivated. It did not send lawyers for the court ruling. FBR Ministry trade fire over regulatory duties. The Standing Committee on Finance has directed the Federal Board of Revenue and Ministry of Commerce to finalize a new list of items on which regulatory duties should be imposed in 2 weeks' time. Confusion was witnessed as to which authority wanted to impose RD, as the Commerce Ministry and the FBR blamed each other. Numerous complaints were received by the Standing Committee from manufacturers regarding the recently imposed RD on imported raw material. In this regard, a query was placed in front of the relevant authority. Oil supply chain disrupted by OCAC war. The country's oil supply chain might be choking up following the government's abrupt decision to shut down furnace oil-based power plants that were feeding up to 8,000 megawatts into the system. In a sharp letter sent to the Secretary of Petroleum on Thursday, the Oil Companies Advisory Council, the industry's representative body, warned that all refineries have been forced to reduce throughput to 70% of their capacity. Malala makes it to Bazaar's 150 Visionary Women list. Harper's Bazaar UK commemorated its 150th anniversary year with a list of celebrating the most influential women leaders in the UK. The magazine's Bazaar 150 Visionary Women list called these women forward-thinking, high-achieving and inspirational role models to women everywhere, and there's little doubt that Malala has earned her spot on it. The youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate has been honored for playing an active role towards female education in Pakistan and opening a school for Syrian refugee girls in Lebanon. Verna will release in Pakistan without cuts. After a long battle at the censors, Shoaib Mansoor's Verna is releasing in Pakistan without any cuts to the film. Central Board of Film Censors Chairman Mubashir Hassan confirmed to Images that the CBFC has passed Verna without any cuts or mutes. Zaka hits out at PCB over handling of Hafiz's case. Former chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board (PCB) Zaka Ashraf has expressed doubts over the Loughborough University's test report of Mohammad Hafiz after the veteran all-rounder's bowling action was declared illegal for the 3rd time. Zaka said the best places for Pakistan players for bowling tests are South Africa and Australia, rather than England and India, who both have a biased attitude against them, while suggesting Hafiz should have gone either to South Africa or Australia for the test. Weather. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country. More rain, thunderstorm with snowfall over the hills is expected at scattered places in Malakand, Hazara, Peshawar, Kohat, Rawalpindi divisions, Islamabad, Upper Fatah, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, while more rain thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Bannu, Lahore and Gujranwala divisions. Hailstorm is also expected at isolated places in Rawalpindi, Hazara divisions, Islamabad and Kashmir during the period. That's all for now. For more news and updates, keep watching HumSub News. Take care.
Please subscribe for HumSub.TV and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates from our channel. Please like HumSub.TV to get the latest updates from our channel.